Well, hello, my Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your soulmate reading for February 2020-ish. Whatever you watch it is cool. They're all timeless. Anyway, my reads, apparently, except for the ones like Mercury retrograde, full moon, new moon, that kind of stuff. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, president of Joining the Circle Productions. Professional witch, professional intuitive, and very, very happy to be working for you today. Virgo sun that I am. We are ruled by Mercury, and it's retrograde. And if you don't know that it's retrograde, you might want to look that up because it's your ruling planet as well as mine. And I did a whole bunch of different reads, 12 different zodiacal reads, sun, moon, rising, Mercury signs for this Mercury retrograde. You might want to go take a sneaky peek. Just did them a couple of days ago. Let's get down to biz. If you're new to my channel, please do like and subscribe. I'm making my way to 1,000 subscribers so I can do super live chat and other cool stuff. There's a link in the description box below called Clarifying Drunk Tarot. Check that out. I'll probably be doing that once a month for a couple of months to see how that goes, just for fun. Cool on super live chat. But let's get down to business for this reading, shall we? This is a general read. Please take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Can't get everybody 100% all the time. You can read some of the people all the time, all of the people some of the time, but you can't read all the people all the time, at least not with precision accuracy. That's why people book private sessions with me. I did one on Skype yesterday. I live in Long Island in New York. He was in the United Kingdom. It was lovely. I had a field day, and so did he. So I've been doing a lot of those, but that's been my first international one in a month or so. So that was kind of fun. That being said, this is a soulmate contract. Now, the soulmates and twin flames get confused a lot. They're not the same thing. Two different soul contracts, that's what they have in common. They're agreements that you make before you come into the body, right? When you're chosen as a soul to incarnate into certain patterns, right? That's all in your contract. But a soulmate contract, the foundation of it is you help each other heal. If everybody could just learn that. A soulmate, all you do is you help each other heal, and it can be in any form of relationship whatsoever. For example, my mother and I are soulmates. They're not all romantic sexual then, obviously. That being said, these readings are for the romantic, sexual, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise soulmate contract that many of us have been working towards healing, growing, and evolving for thousands of years, lifetime after lifetime. So these are like contract readings. Like, we're going to figure out which one is you, which one is the other. You'll know who you are. We'll get to that in a minute. Because I am defining both parties in this contract according to divine feminine and divine masculine. Has nothing to do with bodily gender, just has to do with energetic dynamics. I am typically considered a divine feminine because I'm more intuitive than intellectual, although I have a vocabulary to beat the band because I was raised by a teacher and a lawyer. But, I'm gay, so it's just on the masculine feminine balance, I'm like 51% feminine. Probably more than that. But you get what I'm saying, right? So it's not about bodily gender at all. It's just a really good way of defining two different people in a reading, particularly one that is romantic, sexual in nature, right? Because then the energies of that can flip-flop, and they do all the time. Who's divine masculine one day could be divine feminine the next, and on and on and on. Cool. Lastly, though, my darlings, please breathe. Your air signs, right? Please breathe. The more you're aware of your breath, the more I'm aware of my breath, the more in the present moment we are, the smoother the readings go, the more I can tune into my pantheons, their divine guidance and grace. I'm a mystic. I'm just like not an ordinary, if there's such a thing as an ordinary clairvoyant empath, with a strong clairaudient bend. My skills, my talents, whatever you want to call them, are based on vows that I made with the divine, my different pantheons. So I'm given a little bit more leeway. But I had to explain to somebody the other day, that doesn't mean I can eavesdrop. Like, I'm not allowed to tune into someone who I don't have their permission to do so. That would be a violation of honor. So cool. Just remember to breathe as we go. I will do the same, and I'll give you the best that I can. Cool. Let's do this. We're going to start with the Caroline Myss archetype deck. All the cards that all the decks that I read with are in the description box below, all the way at the bottom, so you gotta look through my other links because I got a lot of cool stuff on there, right? Follow me on social media, all that stuff. I got books and whatnot. So let's get down to biz. Nice, deep breath. It feels so good. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved, please, 2 cards, one for the divine feminine and one for the divine masculine, in this Gemini collective. Sun, moon, rising, Venus sign. Intimate, romantic, sexual, soulmate contract. Oh, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise soulmate contract for February 2020 or timeless whenever they watch it. Please, my pantheons, one for the divine feminine in this contract and one for the divine masculine. You'd send it around again. There we go. One for the divine masculine. Yeah, that was it. Cool, cool. Before we take a look at our happy soulmate couple here, just keep in mind these are archetype cards. They have written on them both the shadow and the light aspects, the lead and the gold, the toxic and the healthy. So the shadow side may be a little triggery for you, for anybody really, because they suck, right? They're toxic. They're stuff you don't want anybody to know about, the stuff you may be ashamed of, or, you know, manipulative kind of stuff like that. But that's what the soulmate contracts are here to help heal. You're helping each other heal and move towards the light attribute, the more healthy aspect. Cool, cool. Sorry, my contact lens wants a life of its own. Get back in alignment. There we go. Okay, so who is our divine feminine here? Well, I'm familiar with this one. We've got the divine feminine servant archetype and the divine masculine thief. Now, don't freak out. It's not always what you think with these, but let me read you the definitions, at least what's on the card as I'm tuning into them, so you can determine which one you are. Now, if you already really predominantly identify as divine masculine or divine feminine, keep in mind that you may be able to relate to both sides, hence how you can help each other heal, right? So the shadow attribute of the servant. Using the lack of money as an excuse not to move forward in life, which so many clients, so many people, even men in my life, I had to let go of because they're like, well, I would love to be with you, but I can't leave where I am because blah, 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 blah. I'm like, all right. I'll cry. You won't be around to see it, but see ya. Wouldn't want to be ya, right? Never let money hold you back from doing at least your path, right? The spiritual path doesn't cost any money, right? So to free yourself in that way, because the servant in its light attribute, delight in serving others with a free and open heart, right? So that as you flow your service into the world with a free and open heart, the universe serves you back. Now, it's not like the universe is withholding service from you if you're the divine feminine. It's keeping the planet in order, right? It's the trees and the plants are doing photosynthesis, turning carbon dioxide into oxygen so that you can breathe, right? You know, so it's serving you. But when you can serve with a free and open heart, it's not, look, if you're not getting paid well or at all for what you're doing, that's an ethical thing you need to look at, right? That's something you need to rethink and deal with. But as far as a lifelong service, you're not an indentured servant, right? Indentured servitude is not a thing. It's at least not supposed to be anymore. So just be aware of that. Divine feminine, particularly in a relationship, if you're serving with a hook in it, not great, right? Not great. That's not really service. That's bait. Just saying, been there, done that. Have the torn t-shirt. So especially dealing with a thief archetype divine masculine, the shadow attribute, stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers you think you lack. Like, for instance, you ever been around an attention thief, right? Like, no matter what it is that's going on, they're, you know, photobombing, so to speak, symbolically or literally. We all have somebody like that in our lives, or perhaps we are that person. Because we all need to move into the light side of this. Sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. And I don't know if you can see, but the thief inside his jacket pocket is his heart. And that cannot really be stolen. The truth of who you are, your own courage, your own connection to the divine may be obscured, but can never be taken from you. Your higher self can never be taken from you, right? Your spiritual path, your healer's path. None of this can be taken from you. So where better than in a soulmate contract for a servant and a thief to help each other find out the truth of who they are, and that which can not only never be stolen from them, but that which can be freely given with an open heart. Feels good. This feels like an interesting couple. I like them already. If you haven't been able to determine which one you are just yet of our happy, interesting couple, don't worry. We've got the Daughters of the Moon Tarot. We're going to pick 5 of those to help clarify the Divine Feminine, and the Mythic Tarot, 5 of those for the Divine Masculine. And what we're going to do is one of my favorite quickie spreads, 5 cards, the element spread, fire, earth, air, water, spirit. You'll hear it as I go. Cool? Please breathe. My goddesses, the voice of the Divine Feminine. All the Divine Feminines. Half the universal energy, please. My goddesses. 5 cards. Top of the deck. Fire, earth, air, water, spirit. Fire. What does this Divine Feminine want? Earth, what does she have to get her what she wants? Helping or hindering? Something to get over or something to use to help her get what she wants? Air, what is she thinking about it? Water, what is she feeling about it? And spirit, what is the point of view of her soul on all of this? Like, since it's a soulmate contract, what's going on? What's her soul got to say about this? My goddesses, please. Maiden, mother, crone, just giving it the traditional left-handed cut. And we are ready to rock and roll. Let's see. For the Divine Feminine Servant, what's she want? The Virgo card. Now, I'm a Virgo, like I said, so I know a lot about Virgo. And if you are the Virgo, if you are a Virgo here, then this is really about wanting your full potential, wanting that light attribute to serve the divine, to have the divine serve through you. That aside, though, we're really saying here that what the Divine Feminine Servant wants here is healthy service, right? 6th house. Health and occupation, because occupation, yes, may indeed be confined to what you do for a living to make money, but it's not just about that. It is about what occupies you, what occupies your mind, what occupies your emotion, what occupies your desire, right? What do you do most of the time? What is repetitive? Addictions are occupations in that sense, right? Because they have a direct influence on your health. If you're addicted, if you're occupied with watching the news feed 24/7, that is going to affect your health. If you're occupied with healthy living and breath work and yoga and working out and eating right, that's going to affect your health. So 6th house, the house of Virgo, occupation and health, wants that, wants to move in that direction, and service of self as well as everybody else, right? It's like if you're going to be occupied with something that's going to heal you, that's going to bring you back to your original state of purity, because remember Virgo is the virgin, then it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time to do that, to learn how to serve yourself in healthy ways so that you don't burn out and fall into that shadow attribute, because sometimes it's not about so much the lack of money as an excuse, but a lack of energy because you've poured out your cup and have nothing left for yourself. Been there, done that. Have the burnt t-shirt. What's the element of earth to help her get that fire? If you think of earth as the waxen wick that feeds the flame of the candle, right? Well, she is dealing with some oppression, either her own or somebody else's. Chances are it's a little bit of both. This is half of the Devil card in this deck, and that aspect of the Devil card, if you think of the Rider-Waite Tarot, right, Baphomet, everybody calls it Satan, it's Baphomet, it's a long story. And the 2 little demonettes, I guess we'll call them, masculine and feminine demonettes, have chains around their necks, but they're loose. They could easily slip them off and walk away. Now, that might not be the case with all oppression, political oppression, right? You know, like all social oppression, all that kind of stuff. But then this is definitely more in the element of earth. This can be physical oppression, like bills, like the money, like a relationship, like something that is toxic, codependent, and addiction, something of that matter. And again, trying to heal something that may be occupying you. Is this someone or something that you can't get off your mind, you can't get off your heart, you can't get out of your energy field, that is oppressing you, weighing you down? Because oppression can lead to depression, but the key to undoing depression, at least Some of that. I'm not saying, we're not talking about, biological, physiological stuff. I'm really talking more about the initial stages of it. Depressed, if you pull apart the word, you get deep rest, right? Not literally spelled that way. That it's often the nervous system gets just so overwhelmed and so tired that it just needs to rest and process through. So what we have here is a woman buried under rocks, and the rocks are actually faces of people. So they can be the opinions of others, the relationships with others, everybody else wanting something from the servant but leaving nothing behind for herself to be able to pull the rocks off of herself and get away. Because though there are flames all around her, there are doorways in this card. And a coyote. Coyote is the trickster. So it says that this is a little bit of a trick, that it's a lesson in disguise, right? What if it's the individual fears that you've picked up along the way, right? Your own fears, your own limitations that you see as true, but really aren't, right? Chains of illusion, so to speak. So it would make sense. You want this, you're going to move through this, right? This is the fuel on the fire that allows your occupation and healing to burn brighter in your consciousness. Cool. What is the Divine Feminine Servant thinking about this now? The card is called jealousy, but it need not always be jealousy. It's the Seven of Cups. Again, reflex, if you will, to the Rider-Waite Tarot. It's those cups in the cloud, right? 7 cups, and each one has got something different. One's got jewels, one's got a dragon, one's kind of like a, they all represent different things we long for emotionally. We fantasize about, oh, this will make me happy, this will make me happy, this will make me happy. Will they? Right? And a way to catch that is to catch a little piece of jealousy there. If you find yourself jealous, then you have created an attachment that something in the outside world, whether it be a relationship or money or you name it, will make you happy. Where the truth is that happiness comes from within. We know that. Now look, there's nothing wrong with visualizing it. If you can visualize that which you want in order to elicit the emotion, it signals to your soul and to the universe, send more circumstances to help this person feel more of this, because it's the emotions that we want. We don't realize it. We think it's the thing that we want. Like, I will feel better when I have this. Where the truth is, what you're looking for is just to feel better, whether that's to feel loved, to feel secure, to feel served, right? To feel appreciated. So it's okay to visualize it, but if it doesn't manifest exactly the way that you visualized it, light a candle, say a prayer, do a spell, do a mudra, whatever, make a chant out of it. Get that it's just about wanting to feel a certain way, and your mind might be a little preoccupied with that, and that might be part of the oppression, right? What are you feeling, considering there's that water card in air? What's going on in the emotion for the Divine Feminine? 8 of Cups. Now, withdrawal. 8 of Cups traditionally is called the walking away card, but in this deck, I love it so much. It's the walking into, not away. It's walking into the self. She took a boat to an island with a torch, following the cups into the cave. Some are spilled, but some aren't, right? So it's that internal journey. As a witch, I do not run from, I run to. I run toward. I learned that from Terry Pratchett, the book Wintersmith. My favorite author, God's rest his genius soul, right? Everything I really needed to learn about witchcraft, I learned from Terry Pratchett. All the other authors were fine, but Terry Pratchett gave me a narrative I could live with. So that thing, that 8 of Cups, like emotionally wanting to withdraw, but wanting to go within, and if that is to be occupied with healing, then rock and roll. The Virgo can actually serve herself. Remember, I'm using him and her pronouns because we're talking divine masculine, divine feminine, really not talking about gender at all, right? Let's have a look-see then at the card of spirit. What's sort of the point of view of the soul? What's the spirit, the soul, that's more spiritual aspect of self going through? And it's the Virgo card, the Hermit. These people are not together, whether they know each other or not. They knew each other, maybe they're separated. Soulmates go through that sometimes. Sometimes they meet again and again and again in the same lifetime, passing glances kind of thing. Twin flames do that too. The question is, are they helping each other heal? This Virgo card says right now, her soul, her spirit is saying, girl, take some time. Girl, little lady bunny there. Girl, you need to take some time for yourself. Keep in mind the Virgo card, the Hermit card is called the Virgo card so often. So it is that thing of going into the cave and crossing your legs. If you look at the symbol of Virgo, we cross our legs, the legs of the M, if you will, are crossed. So that's a very, very interesting spread there, but says to me that this divine feminine really is all about healing herself right now. So may not be too into dealing with somebody who's a thief in any way, shape, or form, considering it feels like she's trying to conserve, right? In a place of oppression, trying to move through this, but sort of using the oppression. All right, I hear you. Give me those words. Those were good words. Using the oppression to serve oneself instead of being destroyed by them, using almost like that resistance, like resistance training to build strength, to build muscle, metaphorically or perhaps even literally, right? Let's look at the Divine Masculine with the Mythic Tarot. Same spread. Nice deep breath. My gods, for the Divine Masculine, the collective of all the Divine Masculine energy, half of the universal energy. The Divine Yang, the Divine Masculine, my gods, please. Hermes in particular, since it's retrograde, if you want to guide this, please. Top 5 cards, element spread. Yeah, retrograde. That did not want to shuffle. Please, top 5 cards, element spread for this Divine Masculine thief in this Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Satisfying, sexual, intimate, romantic, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, soulmate contract for February 2020. Or timeless, whenever they watch it. Please, my gods. One, top 5 cards, element spread. There you are. Sun, Father, Sage. I try and do the trifold for both the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine. Let's see what's going on with him. What does our Divine Masculine thief really want? Death. No, maybe somebody wants their death. Look, suicide happens. Been at that door myself. Obviously didn't do it. Still there, but I'm a mystic. That's why I love being in the underworld. It's like, I don't mind it so much. I'm headed there eventually anyway. We all are. But since this card so rarely means literal physical death or wanting somebody to die necessarily, this is about transformation. That even in the choices of what they want, they may not realize that what they really want is a whole life change. This is the Phoenix transformation. This is going to ashes and then rising from them. So how a thief, if they really want to steal, eventually they will get caught. That's just how it works. There's a reason why it's one of the 10 commandments, thou shalt not steal. But let's take it out of thievery. Let's say it's stealing, like of money and things. What if it is about being sneaky and getting away with something, right? Taking what's not yours, going beyond boundaries, stealing someone's trust, right? Making a promise, making a commitment, and then skipping out on them without them knowing, right? There's a betrayal here. That kind of thing. A thief can really get caught and be transformed. They may not realize that's what it is that they want, but that's how the soul works sometimes, and sometimes that's how the divine plan is written. Go ahead, be a thief. But once you get caught, you are going to get caught and you're going to change. You are going to go through hell, right? It's a Hades. Hades and hell are not exactly the same thing in my book, although Tartarus is sort of the hell version in the underworld, but it is rehab. It is rehab. You can get out of Tartarus. You just got to make it past Archangel Uriel. I'm a Urielite. We're not that easy on that. We're the angels of redemption. We're the ass kickers of the archangels. Just saying. So what can this divine masculine do? The element of earth. What's he got to help him go through this justice? Someone's gonna get caught, dude. This is Athena. Athena sees everything. The gray-eyed goddess. She sees everything. Her owls are fucking everywhere. She sees everything, and she wants to bring it all into balance. And she does not like thieves. She does not like people stealing shit. She doesn't like people being dishonorable. So think of that card of karmic justice, not just as a punishment reward system. The word karma means action. So the actions of theft set up the next set of probabilities in the quantum, right? So maybe you steal more, but eventually must lead to getting caught, because the soul, I mean, unless you're really robbing from the rich to give to the poor, I'm not feeling this is going on here, nor do I feel this is completely all about money. This could be really about cheating in some way, and maybe it is cheating in a relationship. This relationship perhaps was cheated on, or it just feels like there's, particularly with 2 major arcana cards down, well, you know what? And she's got 2 major arcana cards too. She's got the devil, oppression, and the hermit. He's got death and justice. That's a lot. So, dude, bring yourself into balance. Turn yourself in. Whatever it is that's going on here, you know, the word thief is criminal. Is the divine masculine a villain? Everybody gets to choose in every choice they make whether they're going to be a hero or a villain. If you're the divine masculine watching this, it's justice time, right? Not just us, justice, right? Be just, be fair, be honorable, because your life is being weighed by a much higher power. No, not that Judgment Day card. That's a different card. This is definitely about, where are you on the ethical, honorable scale? What's in your honor code, right? What you thinking about this, divine masculine? Well, 6 of Wands, you're thinking you're going to get away with it. It's the victory. It's Jason battling the dragon and getting the golden fleece. Jason and the Argonauts, the quest for the golden fleece, doing the work of Zeus, right? Zeus wanted it done. Jason got together the Argonauts on the ship, the Argo. And so this is that card of victory in the Rider-Waite deck, you know, galloping through the crowd. It's all M wands, right? 6 of Wands. So thinking, I got a strategy here. I'm going to succeed. I'm going to, and maybe you will. But will it be only a mental victory? Can you talk your way in and out of this one? Let's see, shall we? What's going on emotionally here? What's in the element of water? 3rd major arcana card, the Lovers. This is probably relationship oriented, probably having to choose between different people, but emotionally, it's an emotional decision, right? And the thief might not be ready to make that emotional decision, therefore is trying to go through this transformation, whether they know it or not, for some sort of clarity. So the best thing that could happen for them is to face the music. Just how it goes. The thing is when we have too many options, we can become paralyzed. Like, we're so used to fight or flight, but then there's also freeze, right? Where it's like, you get immobilized. That's not the same as fight, right? Fight is active. There is that 3rd speed that I've become aware of. Thank you, Matt Kahn, if you're ever watching my stuff. Doubt you are. But I like that. Freeze, where we get frozen, right? Immobilized. Petrified, right? Turned to stone, Medusa, so to speak. So with 3 major arcana cards here, look, I don't feel bad for the thief. In fact, I feel like it's time for his transformation with that. Look, the major arcana cards are the cards of spirit. They're the cards of the gods, the divine card. Like, the minor arcana are things that happen. The major arcana are places we go through in our lives, symbolically speaking, like a death phase, right? Like a justice phase. With a Lovers phase, lovers are always about a life-changing decision. So make your decision with your heart, right? Make a loving decision if you can, but your mind has to make wise, bring wisdom to this, not just think it out. My God, with that justice thing, what's the wise thing to do? Better to come clean, because this is going to be on your permanent record otherwise, so to speak. I hate that language, but it does make sense. I mean, the Akashic Records are the Akashic Records. I kind of am looking forward to Croak a little bit, just because I want to go, like, browse through the Akashic Records for a couple of 1,000 years. Looks like fun. Well, the point of view of the soul. 5 of Swords, mental conflict, right? So even the soul is looking down on this and going, what the fuck? what the fuck? Conflicting thoughts, right? Like a storm, like air coming from every direction. So perhaps there is some mental overwhelm going on here as well, like other people's opinions, right? The toxicity of the well-meaning can be very, very hard, but it does feel like, I'm not going to go so far as to say there might be mental illness involved here, but certainly from the soul's point of view, there's a lot of confusion, a lot of, okay, old belief systems that no longer serve, that might have served. Take care of yourself, screw everybody else. Well, when you're wounded, that's necessary, right? But at a certain point, if you're using that wound to take advantage of other people without healing the wound, that's when justice steps in, and there will be a reckoning. To use that language, but justice and death, there will be a reckoning. It is in place. So good luck with that, Divine Masculine. I'm not wishing you any ill whatsoever, but with that thief archetype, you really, what are you shooting for here? Sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. And it feels like this, if this is a soulmate contract, this servant will help you, will serve you, but you got to come clean. She's totally pulling back, taking care of herself right now. If trust was violated, if you stole this divine feminine's trust, sweetheart, it's going to take you some work to earn that trust back. I wouldn't totally give up. Otherwise, it wouldn't be showing up this way. You know what I mean? Everybody makes mistakes. And really, in the quantum, the divine plan, whatever you want to call it, couldn't happen any other way. These are the roles we were cast to play. So be kind to yourself, but you have the opportunity now to rise from these ashes in a really healthy way. Just saying. Speaking of health, we're going to turn to The Healing with the Angels Oracle by Doreen Virtue. Just one card each for both of them, so 2 cards. We've got 10, 11, 12, right? This should be interesting. Nice deep breath. Oh, my angels, my angels, my angels, please. 2 cards, one for the divine feminine, one for the divine masculine. In this Gemini collective sun, moon, rising Venus sign soulmate contract, the happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, in potential, satisfying, sexual, intimate, romantic soulmate contract with this Gemini collective contract for February 2020. And timeless, one for the divine feminine, that popped right into my hand, one for the divine masculine. Keep it sunny, keep it funny, keep it gay. All right, so she's got listening. My divine feminine, if you're the one watching this, the servant, know that your prayers are being heard, but that you also need to listen. You need to listen to your honor code, particularly dealing with a thief. Not the mental one, the solar plexus one. Listen to that. Whenever somebody asks you to do something that violates your own soul's honor code, or you're even contemplating it, thinking about it, the solar plexus usually goes womp womp. Just like womp womp, womp womp, like warning, warning, till you're actually moving towards it. Then it starts to make a fist. Now, I've been teaching this way for a couple of decades now. If someone asks you to lie for a surprise party for someone's birthday, it usually doesn't do that, because it's like, oh, it's a surprise party. Fuck yeah, I'll deceive the crap out of them, right? Because it's coming from love. It's like they, particularly somebody, if you're doing it for somebody who like really, really is a servant themselves, right? Gives to people. It's like, oh yeah, let's surprise the crap out of that bitch. Just listen to your gut, getting that very clearly, as well as any guidance that's coming to you from your soul, your spirit, your guides, your masters, your angels, whatever, while you are in hermit phase. Why else go into this withdrawal, if not to go within and connect to deeper wisdom within yourself? So the angel of listening. And also know that, yes, your prayers have been heard and they are being answered, but rarely is it ever in the way we expect it to be, right? The angels are not a cash machine. The gods, certainly not. The ascended masters, please. And your higher self is like, it's written in the plan one way or the other. You'll get there. I'm going to take you kicking and screaming, or you can go voluntarily. That's free will. Go kicking and screaming or go with the flow. For the divine masculine thief, Yeah, we've got spiritual growth, hence that conglomeration of such power. I mean, all the major arcana cards are powerful, but death, justice, and the lovers indicating a decision, an emotional decision. Oh, sweetheart. The angel of spiritual growth. It's time to grow, and you may have to rise, well, go to, and then rise from ashes. Really letting an entire aspect of your persona die. Now, die, transform. You know, the death card, if it really meant the end, because death is not the end, the soul is immortal, birthless, and deathless. We're not technically really born or technically ever die. We are energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, blah, blah, blah. But if it really meant the end, it would be the last card in the major arcana, not halfway through, or about halfway through, usually card number, what, 13, right? Halfway through the 22 card major arcana cycle, even though this major arcana has a different number of them, right? So spiritual growth. Turn to your spiritual growth. Now look, everybody has stolen, right? If not money or gum or, you know, stolen somebody's trust, stolen someone's attention, stolen energy, right? A little bit more vampiric there. Go through the spiritual growth, totally worth it. And this soulmate contract, pre-incarnational, you're going to help each other through this, but I don't feel like there's any communication between these two. If they have met and know each other, or maybe they just haven't met yet. Not sure exactly how that plays out. Yes, but in the collective, it's going to be a variety of all of that with the side of Gemini fries. Gemma fries, let's go a little deeper. Using the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack, I've divided it into two sections. The Suit of Problems, which is half of the deck, because you want to know what's the problem, what's the lead to be alchemized there. A little, like, what lead is each of them bringing. We'll get 2 cards, 1 for each. And then the other deck is the other 3 suits, the Suit of Luck, the Suit of Healing, and the Suit of Grace. So we'll see what they have bringing with them to help heal, right? To help this contract. So we're going to start with the shadow side first, the problem. Nice deep breath, please. Feels so good. Please, my Ascended Masters, the Ascended Masters, please, 2 cards, 1 for the Divine Feminine Servant, 1 for the Divine Masculine Thief in this Gemini Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign soulmate contract for February 2020. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise. Yes, in potential, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise. These two probably meant, well, that's what a soulmate is. It's pre-incarnational agreement. Meant to meet, meant to be together to help each other heal, and then they'll see what happens for the Divine Feminine. 1, please, for the Divine Masculine. Literally just kicked it out. Let's just get the other one now, so we'll flip them over. Same thing, my masters, a piece of luck, a piece of healing, or a piece of grace for the Divine Feminine in this Gemini Collective Soulmate, February 2020. Please, 1 for her. And then, please, 1 for him. Very fast, very easy, very peasy. Easy peasy, eggs and cheesy. Let's have a look-see-duck-see. So, what is she bringing to the relationship in terms of the problem? What's her problem? Fear. Hence the withdrawal. Hence the self-healing. Hence going within. She's afraid. Now, in this, it's someone afraid of a shadow. It is a female, by the way. Well, wearing a dress, at least. So, you know, that's what she's afraid of. Afraid of what? Well, she's already got the oppression card, and it is right next to the oppression card. So we're looking at a lot of what's oppressing her is fear, chains of fear, probably from past experience, particularly with that 7 of Cups in the mental position. It makes sense. She might be remembering and visualizing in a way that's shaking her emotionally. Is that jealousy? No, but it's fantasy, right? Fantasizing worst case scenarios. Hence, I'm pulling back from the world emotionally. I'm going to go into myself, get this clear, get this clean, and serve myself. So what can she serve herself with? Giving. Giving to herself, perhaps, or as that Virgo servant vibe here, delights in serving others with a free and loving heart. To give of her loving heart is what will not just help her move through this, but will help heal both of them in this soulmate contract giving. So maybe giving him a chance, giving him an ear, giving him the opportunity to say what he's got to say, or giving him the opportunity to at least walk into her energy field. What's his problem? Disillusionment, right? So there was something that he thought was going to be a certain thing, that once he stole it, because we're dealing with the thief here, that it would be everything and then he'd be fine, and apparently it didn't go that way, right? Left him very disillusioned. Perhaps in this emotional decision making, he decided wrong. Remember, there's a difference between a choice and a decision. Choice has consequence, as does decision, but decision is life-changing. Choice is like, oh, I think I'll go for a walk. Nothing of consequence may happen on that walk. A decision, I am going to walk a half hour every day for the rest of my life, rain or snow. That's going to be life-changing, right? So perhaps the past decisions have brought him to a place of disillusionment, and he is ready, at least emotionally, to decide yet again, which is very Course in Miracles, and this is a Course in Miracles based deck. What he has to bring, though, is happiness. I mean, this is somebody who wants to be happy, right? And this is the card of grace, or the suit of grace. So to bring in that grace of happiness, right? I really feel like they can't make each other happy, but they can be happy together. But right now, there's so much personal stuff going on that if they're already in a relationship and you're relating in this way, then get that what he's going through is such major life transformation, and what she's going through is such a major life transformation individually, that the best gift you may be able to give to each other is to let the winds of heaven dance between you for a little bit, considering she's in hermit phase, right? Yes, there is happiness within all of us. Our innate nature is essentially joy, our spiritual nature. But with him needing the angel of spiritual growth there to help him through, he may not be ready to do anything about this, and she's taking care of her, right? So this is a very tricky relationship, very Gemini. It's like, should I stay or should I go? One twin saying commit, the other saying run like hell, right? Tricky. Both sides, by the way, so both of them could be, well, both of them have that Gemini energy. It is we are looking through the lens of that particular sign. So we have 3 more cards left, 13 cards in total, right? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, what? 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 cards. Yeah. I think it was more than that one. I think it was 21. It's not. Sorry, those are the reads I did last time. Let's ask the higher selves of all involved. This is what happens sometimes when I read air signs. The mind goes, it's like that CNN crawl. Nice deep breath, that'll slow it down. Still point. The higher selves of all involved. There's a lot of static on this channel in this in this contract. Please, the higher selves of all involved. 2 Whispers of Love Oracle cards, one for the Divine Feminine, one for the Divine Masculine. In this Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, satisfying, sexual, intimate, romantic contract for February 2020, please, for this soulmate contract, February 2020-ish, though timeless, please. 1 for the Divine Feminine, higher selves of all involved, a whisper of love for her and a whisper of love for him. That took a minute, worth it. Yeah, there's a lot of thought. I mean, I shouldn't be shocked. It's Gemini, mutable air, mutable thought. Like, if these two aren't communicating, the telepathic cacophony between the two of them, or the thoughts they're both having about each other, it's a bit of a brainstorm, but not necessarily in a good way, very much like this 5 of Swords. A lot of mental conflict, a lot of mental, like, back and forth, indecision, which can be affecting this Divine Masculine emotionally. So what's the higher self say about her? Consider your foundation. You're being asked to look at how committed you are to love, that she may be very committed to her own healing, but is she committed to opening her heart? giving love. Don't give your heart away, but giving love. The fear might very well be particularly about him, maybe not for love in general, but particularly towards this one. She does not want to be stolen from again. And I understand that. Having had it done to me in many ways, shapes, and forms, I get it. For the divine masculine thief here, appreciate this moment. Each and every situation has an opportunity to grow and find love. So though this may be torturous if you are the divine masculine, this moment, like, appreciate this moment. This is a pivotal time for you, if you're the divine masculine thief here, to really perhaps give back that which was stolen. Return what has been stolen. Return the map. Time bandits just flew through my head. So to make amends, to make right, to balance the scales of justice, because remember, that's in your position of earth. That's something that you have. You can balance the scales of justice, but it's going to take being honest, being truthful, and returning what was stolen, even if it was something esoteric or amorphous like attention, right? Or the truth, where you lie in, where they're usually with thievery, there's deception involved, right? And the problem is disillusionment, so maybe his illusion is being popped. That's right next to the justice card, that could be. So consider your foundation and appreciate this moment. Interesting, right? Just want to check something. 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, right? 17. Last card down. Sorry, I totally miscounted my cards. I don't know how I did that. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 cards. Sorry, this math is not doing it for me today, apparently. That's okay. I got a client coming today. I'll get ready for that. But let's finish this out. We're going to finish you out with one of the Healing Mantra cards from the Healing Mantra deck by Matt Kahn. Doesn't matter whether you're the Divine Masculine or the Divine Feminine. You are going to be able to use this mantra to help heal yourselves and help heal the other via soul contract, right? So whatever this mantra is, the more you repeat it, you don't have to believe it, you don't have to like it. But if you think of it as like a verbal signal to the soul saying, all right, I'm willing to do this. I'm willing to heal. Because really, you have to be willing to heal. Yes, the body and, you know, the immune system will heal without your direct, you know, permission to do so. But this kind of level of healing that we're looking at here in a soul contract has to be done willingly, or you get dragged through it in the worst way, right? So let's ask the Ascended Masters, nice deep breath, please. My Ascended Masters, please. Okay. One card in clarity for this Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, Soulmate contract for February 2020. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, romantic, intimate, sexual contract. What's the best mantra for them that will help them heal for their well-being, for the well-being of the contract, for the well-being of each other, and for the well-being of all masters? This one. Thank you. Now, one side of the card, before I even look at it, is the mantra. The other is the name of the mantra. I use the name of the mantra to look it up in the little bookie book, and the little bookie book is extremely helpful, just saying. So, who did you get? Hearing inner guidance is the name of the mantra. The mantra itself is my intuition flows whenever I am still. My intuition flows whenever I am still. Really pointing towards the water element in both of these, and we've got the Eight of Cups withdrawal for the Divine Feminine. Go in, darling, be still, be the Virgo, close your legs. Be the Hermit. Now, just to clarify, the Hermit is not someone in exile. A hermit goes willingly, right? So here she is galloping over Stonehenge, or at least a stone circle. This is the Kaliach, right? Riding the gray horse. Seeing things from a higher point of view, just like the Rider-Waite version of the Hermit, except standing on top of a mountain, eyes closed with a lantern, right? But high up, goes voluntarily. For this Hermit here, it feels like, appreciate this moment. You might be getting the opportunity to hear your inner guidance by being still. Let's read you what this card has to say. In the bookie book, hearing inner guidance literally opened right to the page. Hearing inner guidance. My intuition flows whenever I am still. When you hear inner guidance, you receive an affirming and defining moment of inspiration. It can be a new direction, a new way of seeing old patterns, which is probably the case at least for the Divine Feminine, or an enchanted idea that is delivered in your own voice out of the silence. When inner guidance is heard, you are ready to either hunker down into the healing benefits of your current circumstances, Divine Feminine, or move forward into a brand new chapter, which feels like the Divine Masculine here with this justice and death. In either case, this is an opportunity to further align with your soul by embracing your needs, right? What is it you need? Not just what you want, what do you need? This mantra is ideal for resolving restlessness, becoming a better listener, and being more open-minded. Hearing inner guidance. Let's give you the overview. I'll pop up the picture and see what else jumps out at me. Here we go. Magic clap. We start with the Divine Feminine with the Servant archetype, the shadow attribute, using the lack of money as an excuse not to move forward with life. The light attribute, delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. And she may have a balance of that, but also feeling a little bit stuck if the money thing is really there, giving her the opportunity to listen to inner guidance. And I see in her element of fire, what she wants is the Virgo card, which again, the Hermit card and the card of Spirit is also a Virgo card. So there's something here about, I think, pulling back, taking care of the self, being occupied with her own, perhaps someone else's healing, but with that card of the Hermit in the soul, really, it's all about healing herself, this servant. And what is she dealing with? What's the element of earth? Oppression. Considering it's right next to the problem card of fear, I'm going to say that that's the problem. The problem really is fear. Now, maybe some of these fears are unfounded. Maybe some of them aren't. Maybe she's afraid of this Divine Masculine if she's already had a dance with him. Maybe she's afraid of what he's capable or incapable of. And there in the mental field, we have the Seven of Cups, not feeling that card of jealousy. Like, I know what jealousy feels like. Everybody does. This feels more like the emotions are being stirred by fantastic thoughts. And by fantastic, I don't mean amazingly wonderful. I mean of fantasy, the original meaning of the word. That there's some fantasy thoughts here that might be sort of fanning the flames of these oppressive fears, right? And hence, in her position of water, she's got that Eight of Cups, that water card, walking into herself, probably for her own healing, right? Like, if that's what she wants to filter through all this stuff, take what works, leave what doesn't, right? Then that turn inward is absolutely necessary. And of course, that's reflected, as I said before, in the Wise One, the Kaliach, the Crone, the Hermit card in this deck from the point of view of the soul, to really take some time to herself, not necessarily alone, but in self, to see things differently from a higher, more internal, perhaps intuitive perspective, right? Very, very interesting, because what she's bringing to this or dealing with right now, the problem is fear, and it may just be a shadow, it might not be real at all, but what the healing card here is giving, and this may very well be giving to the self, or perhaps as a servant giving to others. Lord knows when I've been down and out emotionally, physically, even perhaps financially, it's always been by serving others to sort of get myself moving again. And the angel that walks with her is the angel of listening. So again, hearing inner guidance and listening, that angel makes sense, to take some time out to really listen deep to the soul, not just the thoughts of fear. And for her to consider her foundation. She's being asked to look at how committed she is to love, not necessarily just to this divine masculine thief, but committed to love, love of herself, love of the divine, etc. Jumping across to the thief archetype in his shadow, stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers he thinks he lacks. The light attributes, shedding light on the potential wealth within him that can never be stolen. His soul, his spirit, his love, his truth, right? Can't be stolen, but can be obscured. Because what does he want? He wants his life to change. He wants the death. Now, does that mean he wants to die? Suicidal? Not feeling that. But spiritual growth, the angel that walks with him, really does determine transformation, right? Growth. Like the boy dying for the adult, for the man to be born, right? The coward dying for the courage to come up. The villain dying for the hero to emerge. Because we're all heroes and villains at different points in our lives, even in our own perception, right? And what he's got to do that is the card of justice. He's got to come clean. He's got to balance those scales of justice and return what was stolen, or at least make a compensation, right? Make amends, balance the scales. The gods are watching. You've got Hades and Athena watching what's going on here. So by all means, considering you've got one of the highest sky goddesses and one of the deepest earth gods involved here, really, there's no quarter. There's no way to escape this. You have got to bring shit into balance for your well-being, possibly even your psychological survival. Because in your mind, you're thinking, oh, this is victory. I got away with this, or at least there's a way to be victorious. And may it be so if that Lover's card decision there in the emotional field is really about doing this for love, right? To be more open-hearted, to be heart-centered, to make the loving, wise, powerful decision. Because in this card, we have Aphrodite, Athena, and Hera in the Judging of Paris with the golden apple. And the decision he has to make is to somehow make a loving Aphrodite, wise Athena, and powerful Hera decision in all of this. Not the easiest thing in the world, particularly when the soul is saying there that Five of Swords, there's so much mental anguish and so much mental conflict and so much mental change. So much has to change and is changing as far as the soul can see in this divine masculine's mental body, right? Where he's thinking Six of Wands, but there's a lot going on, a lot of psychological change taking place, which of course would be indicative in that death card. The problem that he brings here is disillusionment. Maybe he's been working under illusions and therefore now must break these illusions about himself or reveal the truth of who he is and what he's done, because the grace that he carries is happiness. Like, he wants to be happy. It's almost like doing this very hard thing might be making him happy because it is throwing off the excess weight of guilt that really could not have been played out any other way. This was just his role, the archetype of the thief for this, whether it is literal or symbolic. And the voice of the higher self clearly saying, appreciate this moment. Each and every situation has an opportunity for him to grow and find love. So important. And so what's the mantra? Both of them are directed within, with this hearing inner guidance. My intuition flows whenever I am still. So yeah, whether these two know each other, did know each other, there's no communication right now. It really feels that way. Or they haven't met yet. This is all two totally different paths that are getting ready to meet, but possibly not in the month of February 2020 or timeless whenever you are watching this. So there we have it, my Geminis. A very tricky reading, I'll be the first to say. This is a tricky, tricky soul contract, but it's Gemini. It's changeable. All it takes is a mutable thought, a change of thought, and this could all play itself out way more gracefully. But and it feels like the divine wants this, right? It's a soulmate contract. You're going to help each other heal. Now, this is a romantic, intimate, sexual, blah, 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 because that's what we programmed the cards to do. So this needs to be done clearly and with honor, because we're dealing with human hearts and human souls. We always are. But particularly with this divine feminine, it feels like she's been hurt so many times in this way, deceived, lied to, stolen from, that this guy better get his shit together, because it's not going to go well for either one of them if lies and illusions keep going. So the divine feminine, with that giving, may very well give him a chance, might very well say, okay, here's your chance, speak your truth, let's make the wise, loving, powerful decision and help each other heal, regardless of what happens to the relationship. Tricky as shit. So there you have it, my Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. May the Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed in their soulmate contracts for February 2020 and timeless, that they may heal, that they may grow, that they may come, that they may rise from ashes, that they may listen and hear their own inner guidance by being still for the well-being of all, that they can fulfill their role in the divine plan. So mote it be. And so it is. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed with this soulmate contract for February 2020. Please reach out if you do need some clarity. Remember, I also am a spiritual counselor. Been doing it for decades. So this, particularly with that death card on the table, Divine Masculine, and particularly with that oppression card, Divine Feminine, if you need help, reach out. Ask for help. And if not from me, really listen to that inner guidance. That's your key. Cool. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed of this month of February, or timeless whenever you're watching this. But for now, hail, farewell, and blessed be.